I have the husky effect today. I've been told to talk very quietly.
Oh my goodness, you do have something is wrong with your throat. I can hear it.
I like have to talk really quietly. I was sick for so long. Luckily, it happened after Lollapalooza. But I guess it was like I was just working so hard. It was so stressful. And afterwards, like when you finally get to wind down, it all kind of like hits you. And then I was just like, oh, I felt terrible. And then it affected my throat, and I was just like, this is not good. So
Oh, well, I'm so well. If you want to do this later, we can.
this is fine. I'm fine. I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm getting better.
Okay. So if you just want me to talk for a little while, just let me know. Just give me the sign,
Okay.
and then you can take a break.
Where are you based?
I'm actually in Atlanta.
Oh, you are? I'm
Yeah.
in LA. Woo.
Oh, that's why I see that beautiful palm tree behind you.
So beautiful here. We're staying at this place. It's so gorgeous. Got like a nice pool with like palm trees around it. It's like heaven.
Oh, that's beautiful. I mean, California is just a beautiful place.
Yeah, it is. It's so nice. So nice.
So you finally have landed in Los Angeles because you've been a bit of a nomad,
I have.
right? Ever since you were a little child, you've been moving from place to place, right?
I think I'll always be a nomad, and that's the great thing about like being an artist because you get to tour and everything. So I like to just be a person of the whole world, you know? I don't think I'll ever really feel settled anywhere, but I really like it here. This
Yeah.
is a place.
But it's been such a journey for you. I was just reading up on your biography and just, you traveled as part of a circus as a kid, right?
Yeah, yeah. That was amazing. I mean, I've had a very interesting upbringing. I can't complain, you know. But I think that's kind of made me who I am today, you know.
So what do you remember about that time? Because you were a trapeze artist, right?
Yeah, trapeze is my favorite thing. Even back then, I was like, I just want to see my name in bright lights. I was like, I want to be a famous trapeze artist. I was just like, I've always been ambitious, I think.
So is it true you were Amy Winehouse's roommate, flatmate?
It was. One time when I was homeless, she just kind of brought me under her wing and was like a big sister to me. It was great.
Like at what point, what stage, where was she in her life at that point? Was she still recording her first album, or was she still, or where?
No, I mean, I knew her before, but when I was living with her was like one of the craziest times. It was like when it was all really crazy.
When sort of things started to
It was
not be.
like 4 years ago, like maybe 2 years ago,
Oh goodness, that was right in the middle of it.
2, 3. It was right in the middle of everything. It
You
was
must
it was really crazy.
every time you must have gone out of the apartment. There must be have been paparazzi everywhere.
Oh yeah, they don't leave her alone. They love her. Yeah, no, she's awesome.
That it must have been a crazy time. Are you still in touch with her?
Yeah, I talk to her occasionally. It's hard to keep in touch with all my friends whilst I'm out here because it's like, I mean, Skype's a great thing, you know. But as far as like, you know, just staying in touch like I'd like to, it's hard, you know, because we're both just doing our own thing.
Right,
It's so far away.
right.
So, yeah.
So you've moved from place to place, and now you went from London, you went to America. You're now in LA. So what has kept you, and you've been homeless, and people have invited you to live with them. So you've been really you've been in survival mode too. So what has kept you grounded, and sort of what kept you going and not giving up?
Um, Honestly, I don't even know. I just have like an unhealthy amount of drive, and I don't know where it comes from. But I just like, I always see the goal. Whatever my goal is at the time, I always see it. And it's almost like I'm a horse with blinkers on. I'm just like, whatever I'm going through, I just plod through it, you know? I don't let it affect me.
So what was your big drive? What is it that you wanted and that you kept your eye on?
Um, just being creative and being able to do something I love in my life, you know, and getting to share that with people. That's what I love about like writing songs and performing them is like the whole world gets to hear them. And that's like me telling my story to the whole world, you know. It's a good outlet.
What is ultimately what made it a big? What was the turning point for you when you moved to the U.S. and you're really trying to find, your bearings here? What made the big difference? What was that turning point for you?
It was like it all kind of happened pretty naturally. Like I met these guys, I started coming out here, like James, my manager, and Benny's manager. Like it all just kind of fell into place naturally, you know. Like Benny started to grow, and then we started working, and then I started working with other people that he'd introduced me to, and it all kind of just fell into place. Nothing was ever really forced, you know.
Right. So it was Benny Blanco you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
He's sort of you joined forces with him and you started writing songs together, right?
Yes.
And one of the songs that most people, most pop lovers will know is the Kesha song.
Yes, probably. Uh-huh.
What was that like? Because that is major. I mean, that song. I mean, to hear that on the radio and to hear that on that record. I mean, that must have been so fulfilling for you.
It was crazy, but yet again, it was just like it was kind of unexpected. It wasn't forced. He was like, "Oh, this girl Cash is coming over. Do you want to write with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to." And she hadn't got big yet. She was still kind of unknown, as before she released TikTok and everything. And she just came over, and we just drank a bottle of Jack Daniels on the bed, and and we just started writing a song, and it turned out to be amazing. And then we went to Harlem to get tattoos together. Like I got a tattoo. This is my sister's name.
Oh,
So,
it says P.
PEMA, and she got like $1, and that was like our celebration, and that was like our bonding thing, you know. We got tattoos together.
I mean, are you still talking to her now? I mean, she must be really hard to get in touch with. She must be
I
everywhere.
She's one of my closest friends right now.
Oh,
All the time.
you must be very
She's
happy for
no,
her.
I'm so happy for her. So happy. She deserves it, you know.
So, and then there was Cara Diaguardi, right? Who then took you under her wing and signed you to her label.
Yeah, signed me to Warner Brothers, and that yet again just kind of like just happened without me even realizing. We were in a session together, and it was great, and she was amazing. I was like, wow, loved her and everything. And then I get a call like a couple of days later, and they're like, "Oh, Cara wants to sign you to Warner Brothers," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "We didn't even talk about it or anything." And then I go for a meeting at Tom Wiley's house, the owner of Warner Brothers, and we just signed, and it's awesome.
I'm so happy for you. That's just amazing.
Do you believe in magic?
I kind of do. Yeah, why not? Maybe that was magic.
Magic. So there's my answer.
So you're currently working on your debut album, which is titled Beg, Borrow, and Steal, right?
It's a saying, and it's like people can take it for whatever it means to them. But personally, it's kind of like the stereotypical thing of gypsies. I'm kind of taking the piss out of myself at the same time, and I'm embracing it.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Beg, borrow, and steal. It's just, you know, it's been a roller coaster of ups and downs and ins and outs, and finally we're wrapping it up.
I first blogged about you, and I blogged about my book, which I really loved, and that's like years ago.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
And I really loved the vibe of it because it was just really spunky and different and just really cool. Is that sort of what we should expect from this first album? Is that sort of your style, or how, for people that are not familiar with you, how would you describe your sound?
Well, that song was actually the first song me and Benny ever made together. Like before we were anything, it was the first song. And I love that song, but that's not the sound of the album. It's really grown a lot, you know. It's very ethnic. It's got a lot of different elements. It's kind of like early Nelly Furtado, Shakira, kind of it, but it's like it's got so much like power though. It's very like heartfelt, you know. I don't know how I'd explain it really. You just have to wait and hear it.
Oh, I can't wait. You're working with Benny on it again. Are there any other collaborators that you're working with on it?
Yeah, there's a few outside collaborators. We're working with other people on Pilot, Boy and David Brooke and Shirazi. There are other artists that my manager represents. And then I'm doing some with Greg Kirsten. I'm doing stuff with a bunch of people. Like, there's a bunch of writers on it. I did some with Ryan Tedder.
Wow.
With Sia. I have a song with Sia. I worked with Imogen Heap. Like a bunch of people.
Wow.
I'm trying to.
That is so exciting. Yeah. That's a really eclectic lineup of people.
Yeah, I mean, we've just been working at the home studio in New York, and we've just had like a bunch of amazing, talented writers and producers come through and just see what we come up with. I did a really, really good song with Jason Derulo. He's a really talented writer. So many different styles I've worked with. I just kind of wanted to try out a bit of everything, you know.
And so when should we expect that album?
Early next year, like first quarter.
First quarter. Has there been a lead single identified yet for it?
Yes, we have the single, and that's what we're working on right now. We were working on it last night, and I have to record tomorrow. That's why I have to be on vocal rest for the rest of the day. But it's basically done, and I'm really excited. Everyone loves it. I love it. It's good.
Do you have a title?
I do, but I don't want to say it yet.
Oh, it will just be our little secret.
It's a surprise.
Don't be surprised. So, should we expect that this year?
Oh yeah, well, I think what they want to do is push that in like first quarter, then the album to follow. So that's what they're saying. I don't have any specific dates yet.
Well, it was so great to meet you this way. I don't want to keep you any longer, so you can have your tea and just have your give your vocal cords a rest.
I'm going to, yes.
It was really
Thank you. It was
lovely to meet you, and good luck and have fun with everything.
Yeah, thank you. Come to the show.
I will. Bye,
Neon. Take care. Bye.
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 Ton sexy est sweet